I'm joined now by media writer for The Australian, Sophie Ellsworth, and the IPA's Deputy Executive Director, Daniel Wild. Well, we saw a little bit earlier, it looks like Anthony Albanese will finally get his aged care reforms over the line, striking a deal with the coalition. The reforms aim to save the budget, $12.6 billion over 13 years. It'll force self-funded retirees, of course, to pay more. They say, and I say this in talking marks, they'll put $5.6 billion on the table to invest in extra home care packages to come into effect from July next year. My concern here, twofold really. I think this is dangerous territory for the coalition to go down the path of supporting Labor on these reforms. I do think the sector needs a new financial plan, but I think, their high energy bills and all the other things that are hitting them are just as important to deal with. But how can you have a pensioner paying only $300 extra a year, someone on a part pension about $5,000 a year, and the poor old self-funded retiree copping an extra $13,000 a year? Why wouldn't someone, Daniel, restructure their affairs to get themselves on at least a part pension, knowing they're not going to be able to afford this? I mean, not every self-funded is rich.
That's right. I share your concerns about this. It's another hit on self-funded retirees. And the thing that's sort of been forgotten in this debate is we have a progressive income tax system. So a lot of these people who are wealthier, they've already paid a lot of tax over their lives, in part to fund these social services. So if you've worked hard for 30, 40 years, you would have paid millions and millions in tax, and now you're being required to pay even more for these services. These are the same services as well. So you're paying 10 or 20 times more than someone else for the exact same service. So I think it's a bit unfair. Yes, it does need to be reformed. I think one of the ways that you have to look at this is more holistically about family policy as well, because this is being driven by demographic change. Yes. So we need to have policies that are going to make it easier for families to have children if they want to have children. And we've talked about income tax splitting and other policies that can help that. So this is a bit of a short-term technocratic solution to a much broader problem, and I think it's sort of missed the point.
And again, I worry about people readjusting their affairs, and we end up with the perverse outcome of more people wanting to get on the pension when the whole point of superannuation is meant to get us off it.